Alright, what's up people? This is Alexander, obviously. I'm at the gym, drinking black coffee. Waiting for this caffeine to kick in. It's morning, it's Saturday. I'll burn some time. Let's have a questions session. So you guys ask whatever you want. This is AMA, people. It's up to you what you want to talk about. Or, you could just be lurkers and watch me drink this coffee for the next 15 minutes. Your choice. Okay, we can do that. Whatever. Why does my phone blow up every time you go live? Because you have it set to notifications. Good morning. Oh, hey Bella, what's up? Good morning. I woke up late and was supposed to have class, but ended up just making it to the gym instead. So, any advice on dealing with family members that are constantly negative and bad mood? People that are so toxic family members, to be generic. I talked about this yesterday. You have to set boundaries. You have to set boundaries. You have to limit communication with these people. You have to be very clear with how you talk to them. You look sleepy. Yeah, I just woke up. Henceforth coffee. But on the subject of family members in a bad mood, that just comes down to how you manage your interactions with people. If you very often for the family members that are negative, there's this very common scenario where we essentially just let them just override us, freight train us is the term I use, where this person's in a bad mood, they're constantly this way, you just let them act that way around you, you do nothing to stop them or try to set any kind of standard of, hey, you know what, back off. And they get used to doing it, and then your whole life that's how they act towards you. How do you set boundaries with people? You have to be able to tell them no, you have to be able to have uncomfortable conversations. Sometimes you have to be willing to not talk to them at all, or maybe make them angry. That's another factor. Oftentimes these people, they get upset when we try to speak to them, and then say, well, I don't want to have a fight with them. Sometimes you need to have a fight with people. Shoulder mobility I'm not going to get into because I have to do that in person, and there's no way to explain how to properly assess someone's shoulder through a video cast. You need to have that demonstrated to you because you have no frame of reference for any of the comparisons, nor examples, nor metaphors I would use. Yeah, physical assessment, anything, guys, you always have to do that in person. That's why some of you guys' questions, I don't know, my hips bother me, what should I do? I have no idea. That could be 100 things. Took 6 years to lose 80 pounds, didn't think it'd yo-yo, but did after second kid. Question, why am I finding it 10 times harder this time around? You're older, your stress levels could be different, you could be weaker, metabolism could have changed in that time. If you were, I don't know how old you are, let's say, hypothetically someone was 40, let's say you lost the weight at 40, now you're 46 trying to lose weight again. That's going to be a lot more difficult. 33, okay, 30, that's a big difference. So you were 27 when you lost the weight, you're still in your 20s, now you're 33 trying to lose the weight. You also have a kid, you probably have more responsibilities. Your metabolism, your biochemistry, that would have declined a bit. So all those things are going to you have to be taken into account. Currently doing your Apollo workout. What kind of diet-wise? I just recommend just eating whole foods diet. Eat a little bit over if you want to gain weight. Nothing fancy. Yeah, you guys know I don't recommend a diet in particular. I recommend that you do your research, understand your nutritional needs in regards to macro, micronutrients, and then eat enough, of those nutrients with food that digests well for you, that is largely whole foods. Whether that includes certain things like dairy or grains, or whether you like chicken or don't like chicken, that's all up. That's upon you. Caloric surplus for muscle gains. Yes. That's pretty reliable. That's been proven pretty much 10,000 times over. Is too much Diet Coke bad? I don't know. I'm not dead yet, so we'll find out. Best way to build size for 20-year-old, lift weights. Compound movements, that's basic. Reevaluate your whole question. That's the answer. That should be obvious. You Google that. How much sugar should you eat? Keep it minimal. Would you rather live with friends with low potential or alone? Alone. I don't spend time around shitty people, neither should you. Obviously, there may be situations where maybe you live with roommates, or you're not necessarily friends with the roommates, but you live with roommates and maybe they're not doing much of their lives. Okay, fine. But living with low-quality friends, why do you have low-quality friends in the first place? Fuck those people. Will I make gains if I'm in a deficit? Probably not. Possibly if you calculate your diet right, but if you're using the word gains with a Z and you're doing it seriously, you probably don't have the mental processing power to set that up on your own, nor to, you know, properly model that kind of diet. So I would suggest eating a calorie surplus. Yeah, we're in that kind of mood this morning. Yeah, guys, I love your questions, but some of the shit, if it's like a Google question of, you know, what's protein? Fuck me. How much coffee do you drink per day? Oh, a lot. A lot of coffee. Some of it's actually decaf. How much? Yeah, if I was to add this up in cups, yeah, probably at least 6 cups of coffee a day. You know, assuming each of them are 6 ounces. Some of that's decaf. Favorite action movie? I don't know if I have a favorite action movie. Yeah, Mask of Zorro is a movie that I've watched God knows how many times and never tired of watching it. Perhaps that. Cold shower is a good thing. Yeah, they definitely can be. Why did you go to jail? Because I committed a crime and I got punished for it. Is there a way to maintain abs while bulking up? That really depends upon your genetics and how long you've been training. Some people can, some people cannot. What do you like to do in your spare time? I read a lot. Can you be over-dependent on coffee? Of course you can. Absolutely, of course you can. No different than being overly dependent upon, you know, Rockstar's, Monsters, energy drinks. How much protein I consume per day? Somewhere in the realm of 150 grams at least. Is it possible to run out of good books to read? That's impossible. Do you follow Sean Baker's work? Yeah, I follow it very closely. He's definitely struck upon something that is, I don't know, I guess you'd say it is innovative. Favorite books? I'll make this easy. So my favorite book, in terms of a book that had a critical impact on my life, I just always reference is Shogun by James Clavell. That's a really good book. Another really good book is Shantaram by Gregory David Roberts. That's an excellent, excellent, excellent book. So those two are fiction. Isaac Asimov's Robot series I really, really loved when I was younger. Also the Foundation series. Dune, Frank Herbert. That's an excellent book. Do you fast regularly? Yeah, I do. What's your body fat percentage? About 9%-ish. I keep it right under 10. Now I get that tested too, so it's not bullshitting. What is your main source of income? My Jewish Illuminati trust fund. Are you religious? Yes. If I'm attempting to lose weight, do I eat 1 gram of protein per pound of the weight I want to be? Or if you're, it depends on how fat you are. You could eat 1 gram of protein per pound of lean body mass. If you have a lot of weight to lose, then it's going to be, let's say you're 250 and you're trying to get down to 200. Then maybe you'd set your protein intake for 200 grams. That varies. Easy way to figure that out though. Easy way, 1 gram per pound of lean body mass, and you just go with that. Can you morally follow the 40 laws? I've never read. I've never really read that book. I sort of skimmed through it years ago, like in high school. It didn't really interest me, honestly, at the time. Maybe I'll revisit it. I just get sick of it now, where guys fucking constantly quote it. All the time in the self-improvement sector, and they're not doing shit with their lives, so they're apparently just reading Robert Greene's books and talking about, power, even though they fucking are single, don't work for anybody, don't have a company, don't have a business, don't actually seem to have done anything, but they can quote, Machiavelli extracts all day long. Good for you. Do you do cardio? I do ballet like 15 hours a week, so yeah. Can men be masculine without warriors? Rephrase the question. I'm not quite understanding what you're asking. Without warriors, meaning what exactly? Which one do you prefer, tea or coffee, or why? Well, I just drink a lot of coffee. Tea's awesome for you. I just happen to drink a lot of coffee, so. They both have their benefits. That's not really an either-or question. It's just, what do you prefer? How did serving time impact your employment prospects? Oh, well, it absolutely did, because, I'm still, if I was, to be hired by a corporate company, or, if someone was to really dive into my history, so to speak, of all the mistakes I've made, I'm fucking dynamite, to be hired. I can't work for I can't work for a corporation. I could slip in under the radar, but I'm this stage of life, plus having a Twitter following, which is the following I have, and the way I've presented myself, marketed myself, I can never work for a large corporation. There's no way. What would be your medieval battlefield weapon of choice? Probably a hammer. I keep things simple. What do you think of Jocko Willink? He's phenomenal. Phenomenal guy. How could you not think highly of Jocko? Can some men benefit more from slow cardio instead of HIIT? You can benefit. You need to be able to do both. You need to be able to do both. That's not an either-or situation. That, which one you choose and which one is most efficient for the person comes down to their personal situation. Favorite Jordan Peterson podcast? The Bible series. Bible series of lectures by far. What about it? What is your resting heart rate? 60. Tennis elbow rehab shot of cortisone. If you want to, I've rehabbed people with tennis elbow, but that's all context specific. I have to assess you. We have to figure out why that took place in the first place. Again, physical questions, guys. I can't answer those. I need to know what this whole scenario is. What is one major goal you're currently pursuing? Getting my book finished. Do you prefer creatine and powders? Powders, 100%. 100%. Pills are stupid. Gingrich bitch went on HRT. You fucked up. If that happened, you fucked up somewhere, and you're probably gonna need surgery. Wim Hof breathing techniques, thoughts do you use? His work is very innovative. I would suggest all of you check it out in regards to, am I practicing Wim Hof stuff? I have my own physical modalities and things I've studied over the years, so when I found his work, it was nothing that world-changing for me. I practiced breathing, techniques and conscientious breathing, diaphragmatic breathing for a very, very long time. That said, his stuff is certainly, next level, so if you want to pursue it, by all means do so. Am I doing it personally where I consider Wim Hof stuff, though? No, not really, but I was already doing things that he suggested anyways when I first encountered him. I'm a physical creature, physical study, so a lot of sort of popular things that come to the forefront of people with physicality. I was probably doing it 10 years ago. Do you recommend meditation? I definitely think it can be helpful for people, certainly. Does HIIT cause weakness in the immune system? No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't cause it. I mean, you can do it to excess where it could potentially weaken your immune system, but that just means you're over-exercising, and a lot of different things could do that. Favorite foreign country? India. Your philosopher? Aristotle. That's easy. For sheer breadth of just perspective on so many things, definitely Aristotle. 5x5 for muscle? No, I would not. I don't recommend 5x5 ever, period. It's an incomplete program, and it presents a training paradigm to people that leads them down to a lot of falsehoods in terms of how they believe the body works. Have you got a gorilla mindset? Sure, if you think so. I think Certain Rich retweeted this. Thanks, Mike. Love you. Let's see. Viewership just increased. You can only do one exercise for the rest of your life. What would it be? I'd kill myself. I hate those kinds of questions. That's a stupid question. There is no scenario in which I could only do one exercise. I could be in a fucking... I have been in a cell and done multiple exercises. Dumb question. 531 for mass? No. I don't recommend that either. I don't recommend powerlifting style programs in regards to muscle gain. They work for for strength gains. They work, and for a beginner they can be effective. But again, they present a false paradigm of how the body works, and it's an incomplete knowledge base. And then you end up with people who stall themselves out or get injured, and they're not really sure why. But they were told, according to the dogma of this program, that this is the end-all, be-all of how the body works, how training works, and the whole thing is something I have to deconstruct. And then I'm trying to figure out what you think you know about training, and if a lot of it's bullshit based upon, low rep obsession and so on and so forth, the whole thing is just a mess. So no, I don't recommend powerlifting stuff for mass gain, especially for beginners. Opinion on creatine: it works. It's the most proven supplement in the world. It's got 20,000 studies backing it up. Take it. CrossFit type Metcons, your view? If you want to do them, have at it. The way you have to consider what your own view towards your fitness is. Do you want your fitness to be? Do you want to get yourself in shape to such a level that you can actually assess what is improving and that you have measurable markers for what your body's capable of? Or are you just doing hard workouts to say you can do hard workouts? Those aren't quite the same thing. Best intermediate mass gain then. But best way for getting mass is compound lifting done for, perhaps moderate to high volume and working the body through its complete ranges of motion. If you don't know what that is, then you don't know what that is. But that's a pretty simple formula in practice. The difficulty is the education process. Most people never learn how gravity works. They don't understand the functionality of muscle. They don't really understand the functionality of anything concerning foundational movements. So training is always this obscure subject to them. Advice on how to find your why. If you want to, how to find your why. What do you take seriously? Ask yourself that question. Is there anything that you take seriously that you could see yourself committing to every day? You know, or something that brings out a sense of fulfillment, gratitude, joy in you that is incomparable to anything else. Negative reps. What about them? White rice. Brown rice is highly overrated. Highly, highly, highly overrated. Good or no? It's not a good. That's not an either or question of good or bad. Doing controlled negative reps can have their usages in training, dependent upon the program, dependent upon the trainee, dependent upon why you are using it. Ketogenic diet versus low fat. That's also not a good question. Those are two different types of diets. They have two different effects on the body. They can both be appropriate at different times. Where are you from? California. With so much ballet, do you have to find yeah, I do. That's why I eat carb. That's why you guys think I have a carnivore diet. I don't eat a carnivore diet. I have carbohydrates every day, pretty much. My activity levels are really high. What else you got, people? We'll go to like the 20-minute mark. Mozart or Bach? Bach. Thoughts on carnivore for easy muscle and belly, high activity? You could try it if you want to. 50-50, it works great, or it's not that great. Is losing a lot of pounds in a week bad? It's not necessarily bad, but it might set up a false expectation for what you think fat loss is and the rate at which you can lose body fat. It's very common when you first start dieting that you can lose a lot of weight fairly quickly, but that slows down also very quickly. Book to recommend for men over 40 for training: The Testosterone Optimization Bible. Jay Campbell, Jim Brown, I contribute to that book. Buy that book, read it. It will lay out a very comprehensive paradigm on health for any man, or really any guy of any age, and you'll be better able to make decisions concerning how you should train, having read that. Thoughts on Grow Taller for Idiots? I have no idea what that is. Unless I just misread the question. Grow Taller for Idiots. Any good podcasts to listen to? The only podcast I listen to regularly is Jordan B. Peterson's podcast. And actually, Cernovich's podcast, but he's been on a bit of hiatus, although he does have some new episodes out. Does it really matter if you make your two supplements for the... Supplement timing, there is such a thing, supplement timing, but it depends on the supplement, honestly. Some things, obviously, can make a difference before, when you take them. Caffeine. I just drink coffee. I'm going to go train in a minute. Other supplements, you have to take them with food for them to be absorbed properly, so that does make a difference. Some supplements, you can take them whenever, and so long as you are taking them, then it doesn't really matter the timing of taking them. Multivitamins, any value? Yes and no. I could argue that both ways. If you're eating a whole foods diet and your body is, healthy and optimized, you don't need supplements. But the reality is that the food we eat is very depleted of nutrients. Most of you have suboptimal diets and you're not that healthy, so a high-quality multivitamin taken with whole foods, yeah, it probably could be a benefit. Probably. Do you like the Animal Pack? No, I don't. I don't care for that brand. Did you finish college? Yeah, I did. I have a degree in dance performance choreography. Can you please explain how alcohol negatively affects muscle gains? You should probably Google that, but the lowdown is it slows down your metabolism really badly. And, when you're drunk, you don't really feel that healthy anyways. So, yeah, alcohol doesn't help muscle gains. If you want the hard science behind that, just fucking Google that shit. That takes too long to explain, and the point's going to remain the same anyway. It inhibits recovery, it fucks up hormones, and it's just not, alcohol is not really good for you. Does coffee, tea break a fast? No, if it doesn't have calories in it, it's not going to affect the fast. Androsten. What about it? I don't like pro-hormones because they're shitty, the effects don't last, and then once you stop taking them, you usually have to do PCT. It's basically just like steroids for losers. If you really want to take hormones, then fucking inject testosterone. Is alcohol dangerous when taking metformin? I don't believe so, but I'm not really sure why you're taking them together. That's kind of odd. Very odd. Do you drink tea? Yeah, I do drink tea. Yeah, I'm not a fan of pro-hormones at all, dude. At all. They're lousy. The effects don't stick, and then it fucks up your hormonal health. Do test boosters work? Vast majority of them, 99%, no, they do not. One that does, Mike Mahler's aggressive strength testosterone booster. A pain and bulletproof coffee. Bunch of fucking bullshit. Bunch of fucking bullshit. It's just coffee with butter in it. I'm not particularly fond of the bulletproof anything, in all honesty. It's somewhat useful information that's packaged as fucking magic, and then for the reasons why it does work, when it does work, it's for the wrong reasons. Do people subconsciously look for someone like their parents? They, maybe if not physically like their parents, but certainly you will model your relationships with others based upon the model of relationship that you have with your parents. Yes. Test gels effective? They work, but I would consider that they are what I would consider a suboptimal form of testosterone delivery. The best form of testosterone replacement therapy is always going to be injection, shots. But the gels can work for people. They can, but again, it's not optimal. So yeah, you have to consider you have to go back to the parent question though. Your relationship with your parents, your relationship with your parents is the model for every other relationship in your life. Those are the first two people you know. You know, your mother and father established your dynamic with masculinity and femininity for the rest of your life. So if that's fucked, or if that's good, or if that's healthy, well, that's what you are going to see in the world. They shape your perception of reality. You know, subsequently, when you're probably looking for a partner or you're meeting people, that's going to be your frame of reference. So yeah, they're going to affect you your entire life, the rest of your life. You can't discount the importance of that at all. Anything else, people? My friend has a list of everyone he slept with. Good for him. I've known a few guys like that. I find it odd, but do you take a... No, I don't. I'm 28. My natural testosterone levels are quite high, and I don't have to worry about that. If you had a chance to talk to your 21-year-old self, what would you say? Not a fucking thing. Not a fucking thing. I barely can take advice now from people. There's about 6 people whose opinions I actually value. And at the age of 21, I sure as hell didn't listen to anybody. So no, there's nothing I would say to my younger self. Do you box stall? I have in the past. Toughest thing you've overcome? I was incarcerated. That was not fun. Have you ever been in a street fight? Yeah. I've also gotten my ass kicked. I've also won. I mean, like, I don't. You guys always ask that question like it's. I don't quite get it. Have you ever been in a fight? It's like the 14-year-old boy question. Yeah, bro. I've hit a guy. I fucking spit my own blood out my mouth. Some of you guys I don't think have lived that much. Well, actually, I know that for a fact. Most of you have not lived that much. If you're a man and you're fairly alpha, let's say, and you're not agreeable, and you're somewhat aggressive confrontational, and you're a bit of an idiot, yeah, you're going to probably get into conflict with people at times. Fisticuffs will happen. Amino acids for testosterone. You don't seem to understand it that well. You need protein. You need protein to build muscle in the first place, so you could consider that being amino acids. I'm not even sure if I have to answer that question. You might need to overhaul your entire understanding of nutrition. What are you drinking? Amino acids. Top 3 books for men. Self-improvement books, I guess you'd say. Let's go with, let me think about this. King, Warrior, Magician, Lover. Go with that book. That's number 1. Go with The Rational Male, Rollo Tomasi. Go through all 3 books. Those be, let's just say 1, 2, and 3, but let's make that number 2. And then the 3rd book, David Data, Way of the Superior Man. Yeah, I'll go with those 3. I think that'd be pretty decent. Favorite fiction book, Shogun. James Clavell. I suppose number 2 or 3 would be Shantaram, Gregory David Roberts, Dune, Frank Herbert. art of art. What do you do about overactive trap? You need to properly structure your training so you train the other trap, and then you also modify your movements so you don't exacerbate the pre-existing condition with the hypertonic trap. Yeah, I'd have to show you that in person. Again, training questions, all that stuff requires hands-on instruction. Do you keep your hair looking wet all day? No. Well, I had tied it back originally, so I had some, basically just water in it. Yeah. Do you like to go karting? I have no idea what the fuck that is. What protein powder do you recommend? Nitrotech is shit. Muscle Tech, anything is dog shit. Don't go with Muscle Tech. True Nutrition is what I recommend. They're online. Look them up. Is doing cardio every day for endomorphs? Doing cardio every day can be for anybody. If you're naturally fat and you're trying to unfat yourself, it probably would be recommendable that you are active every day, but I'd recommend anyone be active in the first place. You know, endomorphs tend to need to... If you have that kind of body type, your diet is really going to be the make or breaker. What do you think of the Wii Fit? I've never used a Wii Fit in my life. Can you lose weight too fast? You can, but at the same time, sometimes loose skin is inevitable. Did you say True Nutrition? That's the company. Recommend fix a cervical stenosis other than surgery. That would require a hands-on assessment of the whole problem and your body and how you move. There is no way for me to make suggestions for that. As I said, guys, all the physical questions, what do I do for this condition? I don't know. I would need to assess you. It would be highly unethical for me to just throw shit out without having made an assessment first. It probably would actually be, way malpractice. Nicotine, are its benefits worth it? Nicotine actually does have some interesting fat-burning properties and cognitive effects. That said, I mean, it's nicotine. If you want to take it, take it. Yeah, I suppose there's a way to safely take it. I think I actually have some in the car right now you mention it. I do. Actually, we're going to pop a piece of nicotine gum right now. I'm going to take this, chew this while I train. Anything else, people? Oh, we're going to put the camera down for a second. There we go. Mike Chang made an ad one time saying if you do crunches, you burn belly fat. Good for him. I hope he made a shitload of money off it. Is there a question in that? I'm not really sure what the point of that was. Is your website on your profile? Yeah, it is. The sign-up link to the email list is in the profile too, which apparently everybody misses all the time. Nicotine gum. How often to train for mass? Depends. Could be 4 days a week, could be every day. Any foods worth eating every day? You'll never be a good person, bro. Oh well. Foods worth eating every day? I mean, it's kind of a stupid question, honestly. There's foods that you could eat every day. I mean, do you understand what your nutritional needs are? Some foods can be eaten every day. A lot of foods can be eaten every day, honestly. Foods worth eating every day? Whole foods? Maybe, eggs are certainly nutritious. Are there any good workouts to lose fat around your thighs? That's not how fat loss works at all. Fat loss is not predicated upon workouts. Fat loss is predicated upon your diet and then training your body in such a manner that you develop your entire body and you develop all the muscles to their full functional range. Workouts are not how exercise works at all. Do you have a soccer-specific training program? No. What's a good pack lunch? If you want to out and about, protein shake, hard-boiled eggs, deli meat, nuts. I mean, I don't pack lunch that way. You probably need to educate yourself about nutrition, honestly. Is bench press necessary for chest development? No, it's not. The idea that the bench press is an essential must-do lift is a myth. It's not. How often do you eat fast food? Every week. because I feel like it. Could you lift any weight if your life depended on it? No. Obviously not. Nicotine gum used pre-workout boost? Not really pre-workout boost, honestly. I mean, maybe. Yeah, you could consider it that. I suppose. It does actually... Nicotine does have some fat-burning properties to it. Look it up, guys. Don't just watch me do shit and then... I'm going to do that. Like, go look up the effects of nicotine. Actually, go to examine.com, type in nicotine, and then do the research yourself. Then you can make an educated decision about whether you're going to utilize it or not. Do that first. What's your thoughts on health? I'm just going to assume that's a satirical question and ignore it. Would you ever disrespect your body enough to... I actually was attempting to do a vegan diet for a period of time, a week or so ago, but some life stress got in the way, and it sort of negated the doing that. Would you ever cut your weave? That just annoyed me, so block. What separates your training program from others? They work. I struggle to sleep when I train in the afternoon. Any solution? Well, that could be a whole bunch of things, dude, honestly. That could be you're on your phone too much. That could be that you took caffeine too late. That could be you're not able to relax. That could be that you got electronics in your room. That could be maybe you took pre-workout. I mean, that could be probably at least a dozen different factors. The hours in which you lead up to your time in which you attempt to fall asleep are really what influence if you are able to fall asleep. How to properly and maturely let go of toxic women that constantly seek you out and tell you to stay. Block those chicks' numbers. What the hell are you doing? What do you mean how to handle? People are in your life because you choose for them to be there. So if you don't want them there, then you don't interact with them. You just think you block their number, you stop speaking to them, you don't see them again. That's pretty fucking basic, I think. Jesus. How many times should you eat per day? That depends. What do you think of Alex Jones? He's a provocateur. Provocateurs always serve a role in society, especially when the truth is not able to be said. That's what I think of Alex Jones. Deep nutrition still first book recommendation? Yes. Do high incline walks strengthen your lower back? Not really. No. Not directly. I mean, not in a way where they're going to, highly strengthen it to where they're going to reinforce it. Do you listen to Ben Shapiro? No. I don't. I'm familiar with him. I'm familiar with a lot of the people within, I don't know, I guess you'd call it like the political activist sphere. I listen to very few of them. Their messages are the same shit. It's nothing I haven't heard before. The way I research things is by reading about it. I don't bother, the conversations they have, the dialogues they have, it's nothing that's new to me. What do you think about the documentary What the Health? It's a bunch of tautological fucking bullshit. That's what I think of it. Training twice a day, cardio in the morning, weights in the afternoon. If you want to. If you want to. And you have the time to do so. What's the next type of training program coming out for the email list? Rest Pause Guide. Do you know Jordan Peterson? Yeah, I know Jordan Peterson. I have mentioned Peterson many times in these periscopes, as you guys know. Are you against being vegan? I'm not against it, but I would suggest if you're going to be vegan, do so in a manner that is most optimal for your health. Have you had any progress updates from people trying out your Wolverine program? Yeah, shit ton. So what you're saying is you hate women. Yeah, that's exactly. That cracked me up. So what you're saying is that's always a tell for dissonance. Scott Ampley talks about the so tell. So what you're saying? No, that's not what I'm fucking saying. That's what you're saying. Because apparently you didn't have the intellectual processing power / IQ to process any of my argument. If you ever come to NYC, hit me up. I will definitely hit you up. Any final questions, people? I know I said that 20 minutes ago. Thoughts on homeschooling? Thoughts on homeschooling? I think certainly the educational system has failed the youth, I think the educational system has certainly failed kids in many regards, and it can certainly, one can make a strong case that raising your children yourself and educating them yourself could probably be a much more effective education than sending them to public school. So yeah, homeschool is pretty understandable in that regards. When are you visiting Texas? I don't know. We're done. You plan on having kids or a family? Yes. On having kids or a You plan on having kids or a family? I think that's the same thing. Maybe I'm mistaken in my definitions of what having kids and family means, but perhaps maybe not. Yeah, I do plan on having a family, which means having children. That's a funny question. Body weight training effective on building muscle? Yeah, obviously. I've told you guys that before. Body weight, barbells, kettlebells, cable stumps, everything works for muscle growth provided you do it properly. It's not mutually exclusive. You don't just do one kind of you don't just do one modality. You do everything. You should be able to do everything. If Gymshark sponsored you, would you take it? Fuck no. I don't want sponsorships of any kind. I don't want to be beholden to anybody that I have to watch anything I say, ever. Do you see a psychologist from time to time? No. What's the maximum amount of time you'd spend lifting? Myself, I've had workouts that lasted 2 hours. I've had workouts that lasted 30 minutes. That depends upon... That depends upon like 50 different factors at any given time as to where I'm at with my training continuum, what I feel like doing, what the workout is, relative to my other activity. That's a whole bunch of things at once. You have supplement recommendations on your website? Yes, I do. Is the brands in there still applicable? Yes, they are. Which is more effective, calisthenics or lifting? Wrong, stupid fucking question. But both are equally effective provided you do them properly, and they're more effective if you do them together. It is not an either-or situation. What are the top 3 attributes you look for in a wife? We'll end there. We'll end there. I was asked this yesterday. What was it that I said? Kindness, maternalism, and grace. And you could throw being pretty on top of that if you want to. Do you wear headphones when you train? Yeah, I always train to music. Have you tried Gorilla My Nootropic? Yes, I have for months now. It works. Get some. All right, good talk, people. Talk to you all again.